Who were you expecting? Mitch Miller? 98% of people out there are thinking, who the hell's Mitch Miller? Look him up. Hey, I wanted to talk to you people a little bit about conspiracy theories, and I believe in some of the things that people are talking about, but some of the things I think people are talking about are just way out of it. You know, I respect people that make a good point, that produce evidence and have sound logic about different things. But some of the things that come out of these people are just, they go way too far, you know? I believe in chemtrails. I honestly believe, without a doubt, that our government and the governments around the world are spraying stuff on us. What do they call it? Geoengineering. They're doing it. I mean, it's obvious they're doing it. All you have to do is look up, and you can see these long trails that come out of the rear ends of jets and planes that last for hours. And a beautiful blue sky morning, a couple hours later, is a cloudy, overcast day, and it's really not real clouds. It's this crap, this gunk that the government and governments around the world are spraying on us humans for whatever reason. I believe that. Why do I believe it? Because I can see it. I can see it. Those are not normal contrails. And only an idiot would think otherwise. Now, some of the same people that are talking about chemtrails talk about other things that I personally think is complete nonsense. Like a sun simulator, for instance. Our government has supposedly, or the world government, whatever, has supposedly created this sun simulator that they've placed in front of the sun to duplicate the sun. So the sun that we're seeing is not really our sun. It's a artificial sun light that they produce somehow. Do you think they're really that smart to do that, boys and girls? Seriously, do you? Do you think they're really that smart to have this artificial sun to put up in front of our sun and then produce the heat and the light that a regular sun would have? That it would be that our government or any government would be smart enough and clever enough to do that? I don't think that the smartest guys on this planet are smart enough to create a pillbox, you know, where the tops are easy to take off. Some of these are, you can't even get off. They're so hard, you know. I mean, think about it. Think of all the things that you have bought at the store. I bought a thing of milk the other day, and you know, it's got like a pull tab thing on it, and I was pulling it, and it broke off. So I had to use a knife to go around where the milk should be pouring out of. I had to use a knife and to kind of dig it out, where in reality the pull tab just should have pulled it off. It didn't pull it off. It broke off. So there's so many things that you and I have bought. Cars. I have a sister that she bought a brand new Volvo years ago, and within a month the engine went out. A brand new Volvo. Let's buy a Volvo. Those are the safest cars in the world, you know, or among them. And the flipping engine went out in a month. You know. Oh yeah, yeah. We can build this artificial sun and put up there. Of course, yeah. We went to the moon. Yeah, we went to the moon, and we not only went to the moon, we've never done anything like that before. See, I am having my doubts about if we really went to the moon or not. You know, I can see why our government con people, including the Russians, thinking that we went to the moon when we really didn't. I honestly have a hard time believing that we were smart enough back then. The computing power that they had back then, we have more computing power in our laptop that they had back then to send a rocket to the moon and have it come back. It's one thing to send this rocket to the moon. They had to go through that Orion belt or whatever that belt is that probably burn anybody alive, including the rocket going through it. Can't remember. Van Ryan? Is it Van Ryan? Van Ryan belt? I don't know what you call it. Anyway, just think about it for a minute. So here we are. They've never gone out of done anything like this before, but they're sent a rocket ship to the moon. What, 458,000 miles away, or however far the moon is. They've sent this rocket ship to the moon, and this is what they did. They sent the rocket ship to the moon. They had communication, with the astronauts within the rocket ship and the capsule, whatever. During the flight. Remember the have you ever had a cell phone that you lose contact with? You lose the person you're talking to, or you have a bad signal or something. Oh no. Years and years and years and years ago, boys and girls, they sent some men to the moon, and this rocket ship, they had contact with these men. Excuse me. And now they not only got to the moon safely and without any incident, didn't have asteroids and different things, hitting the rocket or anything like that. No, they got there okay, and then they landed okay. They didn't have a crash landing. No. I know sometimes planes on Earth have crash landings. But they didn't have a crash landing, boys and girls. They came down on the moon. They didn't land on a crater or like a ledge or something, or where they land and then they fall over or go down a hillside, or no, they landed on just a little crater. There's nice little sand around it and everything, and they knew exactly where they were going to land. So they went to the moon through all this space stuff and this belt that you're not supposed to be able to go through, and then they landed. They landed on the moon, and then they got out of the moon. Now they got out of the moon and they put their American flag up and played a little golf on the moon, and of course, the American flag was waving a little bit, wasn't it, boys and girls? But there's no atmosphere on the moon, so it can't wave, can it? But it was waving a little bit, just a little bit, There's a little breeze up there, I guess. And but they had good pictures. Sometimes your phone doesn't take good pictures, or your camera. Well, they had pretty darn good pictures on the moon, didn't they, boys and girls, huh? And they had a nice picture of Earth from the moon, or didn't they? Yeah, they really did, didn't they, boys and girls, huh? Anyway, and then they fooled around for, I don't know, a couple of days, I guess, out on the moon. I don't know. I can't remember how long they were playing golf and things on the moon. And then they got back on their rocket ship, and they had communication with, Control Central, in Houston or wherever it was, and then they decided to fire up the old engines and the burners and and then blast off. They blasted off. So the rocket ship, they lifted off from the moon. Lift off from the moon, and then it would travel all the way back to the Earth, and that was it. Now, if you believe that, boys and girls, then go ahead and believe it. I know the Russians did. The thing that puzzles me is if we went to the moon back in 67 or whatever it was, how come we haven't been back? Seriously, how come we haven't been back in all these flippin' years? Don't you think if we were smart enough to go to the moon, and it was pretty interesting to go to the moon, wasn't it? That we'd probably go back again and look around, and maybe go, take more people, or maybe even build up a base or whatever. Oh, no. No, they just went to the moon just once, and that was it. Don't you think, in all seriousness, think about it. Don't you think that it's logical to think if they actually went there once, that they would plan to go there another time and go to the moon and walk around on the moon and, do more experiments on the moon? Oh, no. No, that's not logical, is it, boys and girls, huh? Anyway, getting back to things that I think the people are way out, a little bit out of left field, thinking about things like that. Chemtrails you can look at, they're there because you can see them. Sun simulator? Yeah, I don't think so. Dog food, the dogs seem to like better. I don't know. I guess if you starve a dog long enough, they'll lay damn near anything, even their own vomit. Hey, the dog food that dogs, call that by name. Woof woof. Or the cat food that they call that by name when they want some. Meow meow. How about the flat Earth, huh? How about the flat Earth? Has anybody ever gone to the edge of the Earth? Seriously, have they? If the Earth was flat, how come you can't go in a straight line to the end of the Earth and then look down, in space or whatever, or maybe take a basketball and flip off the end of the Earth, the edge of the Earth? How come that's never happened? Oh yeah, the Earth's flat, isn't it, boys and girls? Whatever. What else is there? There was a guy that I was watching on YouTube the other day. Actually, he has some pretty interesting stuff. But he was telling people about, now the the moon is 458,000 miles away. Now, so here's the moon. I've got my icon camera out here or whatever. Icon camera. What do you call? Is it icon? Whatever. But anyway, so I've got my really good camera, and I'm going to take a picture, 80 zoom or whatever, of the moon, and then I'm going to take a picture of a building that's 100 yards away. Now, why is it that I can see more of the building sorry, let's back up. Why is it that they can see, when they zoom in on the Earth, on the moon, why is it that they can see more detail on the moon than they can on the building? And the building is so much more closer. That means, boys and girls, that the moon really isn't 458,000 miles away. That's probably a lot closer, Probably a lot closer than NASA tells us that it's how far it is. Excuse me. And I don't think there's any pause on this. If there was, I'd pause it and cough. But I don't think there's a pause on this, boys and girls. I'm sorry, there isn't. If I had a chance, I'd have another Coke from Wendy's, but I can't drink anything else because the Coke's gone. There's no more Coke, boys and girls. Look at Wendy, isn't she cute? I wish I could be in second grade, maybe first or second grade again, and I wish that Wendy was sitting in the seat ahead of me. You know what I'd do, boys and girls? What do you think I'd do if there was a cute little girl sitting in the front seat ahead of me and she had pigtails like Wendy and red hair? What do you think I'd do? Huh? Do you think I'd let her, use my eraser or my pencil? Oh, it's a possibility. Do you think I would whisper to her that I thought she was kind of cute? Huh? It's a possibility. Do you think I'd pull one of her pigtails? Huh? I might pull one of her pigtails. I might even pull both of them. Getting back to reality, I'm sorry that I had a coughing episode, boys and girls. You weren't much help, were you? But anyway, this guy was saying that it's strange that he can see more detail on the moon, and the moon is so much more further away than this building was. And boy, he couldn't understand that. And you know what the answer is, boys and girls? He thought that it meant that the moon's a lot closer than NASA really said it is. I'll tell you what the reason is. Because the moon's bigger, you idiot! The moon is bigger than the building. Isn't that something? So you'd be able to see a lot of things, wouldn't ya? People are stupid every flippin' day. Oh, here's one. The moon's hollow inside. In fact, in the early days, boys and girls, the aliens, they harnessed the moon, and they towed it. They towed the moon like you're towing a car, for instance. The conks out. You tie this chain from bumper to bumper, and you tow the car that is disabled. Can you say disabled, boys and girls? So the aliens got together and they towed this ball. Maybe the moon's flat too. I don't know. I really don't know if the moon's flat or not. It looks like a ball. It looks like a ball to me. But they put their chains around the moon or whatever, and then they pulled it. They pulled it through space, boys and girls, and then they decided to, hey, that looks like a nice place where a moon should be, and then they took the chains off, and then that's how come we have our moon, boys and girls, is because it was pulled by aliens into position to where it is right now. Well, didn't God put it there? No! The aliens did. They pulled it. They might get tired of it someday again. They might pull, if we're not good, they might pull it out of here. They might pull it again, boys and girls, and put it on Jupiter or some damn place, Here, I got a message for you, boys and girls. Yes, God did. He placed it there. Why? Because he wanted to. It's not hollow. It's not, someone didn't pull it and, like they did a car, with their chains and different things. Oh, and there's another one. Some people are really lizard people and reptilians, like some of the movie stars, you might be talking, they might be recording a movie star, and all of a sudden you see a flicker in their eye. And that means you're reptilians. That's the reptilians' eyes that are... Could have been the way the camera just kind of hit the light in their eye. No, they're reptilians. They're lizards. Someone goes like this to wipe something off their lip. All of a sudden they're lizard people. They're not human beings, they're lizards. And Hillary Clinton, remember when she's having a fit, like she was having a fit, yeah. I think there is something wrong with her besides the way she thinks. But I don't think she's a clone. There's people out there that actually think she's a clone. I don't think she's a clone. You know? I mean, people think a lot of stuff. How about people that think that if they ban guns, that we're not going to have any more gun shootings at schools and things. All we have to do is make those son of a bitches in the government ban guns. We've got to ban guns. Do you really think people that banning guns, that putting a ban on guns is going to stop criminals, morons from getting guns illegally, the underground or whatever, maybe out in their garage they've got a couple of guns packed in a suitcase or something? Do you think if we ban guns that it's going to stop morons from getting guns and then killing people or going into schools and stuff? Are you people nuts? The way to stop shootings is to have, I agree 100%, to have certain, not all teachers, but a certain amount of teachers that that have a good background, to have them armed, baby. They're packing heat, baby. I think they should do that. I think they should have, at every entrance of the school, have a guard. They should have metal detectors. They should have a lot of security things going on to prevent this stuff. I'll be banning guns as the answer. Okay. Anyway, don't believe everything that people say, a sun simulator? Come on, get serious. I mean, where do people come up with this stuff at? It's unbelievable to me that there's people that actually believe this stuff. It's one thing to believe in a chemtrail because you can see it. It's not normal. It's absolutely not normal. But to think, all this conspiracy stuff, the moon's not real, that's not our sun, there's really 3 suns out there, we're hiding 2 of them, and the one that's ours we put a simulator in front of because the other one's dying, or whatever. I mean, there's people believe this stuff. If you want to tell the truth because it's the truth, then tell the truth. Like chemtrails. Chemtrails is an absolute no-brainer, But I don't know. It irritates me that there's so many people that talk about stupid things that aren't true. I mean, you could say anything about anything. I mean, just things like the Virgin Mary appeared on some bark at a tree 2 blocks away from my house. There's a great big tree there, and if you look at the right place on the bark, there's a picture that looks like Virgin Mary. There's a place in our city that actually happened, and different people, they've roped off the area. They sell candles. They have this tree surrounded, by these religious people that swear that's Virgin Mary in the tree, and they're selling candles and they're selling this and they're selling that, and they actually believe it. The rock or boulder, whatever you want to call it, that's on Mars, the face of Mars they call it. Yeah, it looks like a face. I just think it's a coincidence. I really believe 100% that it's a coincidence. I want to believe stuff like that. I love, stuff that's kind of fascinating and out there, but I don't believe it. I guarantee that I can sit on my toilet, and I do, and I have a marble floor with a lot of designs in it, just natural designs that are in the marble, and a lot of times, I can't tell you the amount of times I sit there and I see a face. I see a face that looks like an alien. I see another thing that looks like a dog. Another thing that looks like a cat. Another thing that looks like a fat man, eating an ice cream cone. Whatever. I see all kinds of things. If you look into the designs and different things on the marble, that doesn't mean that they're really there and that they're there because they're supposed to be there. It's a coincidence. I guarantee I could go to any tree. I could go to any place that has marble or clouds. That's a good one. You look at a cloud and there's a cloud that looks like a ship, or there's a cloud that looks like a dog. You've seen that. I've seen those things, and it really looks like that, and it's interesting, but it's not really that. No one put it there. It's a coincidence, But I can look at any tree, and I'll tell you, I can see things in the bark of the tree, or a cloud, whatever. But people believe that stuff. And getting back to the thing, I think the people are a little bit kooky on chemtrails is the X. When there's an X from two different chemtrails, they think that's a big deal. They think that's a sign of some kind. Now think about it. You chemtrail people, and I'm one of them, but think about this, chemtrail people. If you get all these pilots up there and these planes that are leaving trails, don't you think eventually that one trail is going to cross another trail? And guess what that's going to be? That's going to leave an X, boys and girls. It's not a sign. It's not. They didn't do it on purpose. You zigzag a few, several times, and eventually one trail is going to go, on top of another trail, and it's going to create an X. That's all it is. It looks like an X. Some people are just plain stupid, but I believe, chemtrails are there. If you don't believe in them, you are stupid. All you have to do is look up, but don't think because you see an X with two chemtrails that passed each other in different directions. That's not a sign. That doesn't mean anything. Come on, think. Just think. Use your head and think, and don't give people a lot of crap. It's no wonder people think that some people that think about chemtrails or this and that and the other think that they're morons, because some of the other things they think about does sound like a moron, because it's nonsense. Chemtrails are there because you can see them, and they're not natural. They're not a contrail. They're chemicals. You can see them. You can see they last for hours. But don't give me the X theory, because that's crap. Anyway, I hope you have a good day. I hope things are going your way. How about sending me a few bucks, huh? Why don't you get off your lazy rear end and send me a few bucks, huh? I'll talk about you in my next, my video clip. You tell me what you want me to say, and I'll say it, if it's true. If it isn't true, I'm not going to say it. If you say you're a lizard person, you got to prove it to me. Licking your lip isn't going to prove it. Do I look like a lizard? Seriously, do I? Do I? Get a grip.